Aloha mai kako, Michael Keolamau Tengan here. Welcome to Soulful Solutions, how we dive into enlivening the magic within and connect with different practitioners and practices that help to engage and enhance everyday life. As we dive into this topic, we're going to be exploring a number of different practitioners, the different ways that people, whether we're talking about therapeutic, whether we're talking about personal vitality, or really start to go further into the fringe and more of that esoteric piece overall, how is it that different practitioners out there utilize these different aspects of ancient wisdom, whether it be a matter of modern day technology, to develop the different tools and techniques that really allow us to connect? Because that's what it really comes down to, is our capacity to connect to ourselves in a real and meaningful way that really allows us then the opportunity to immerse in our experiences in the now. And in the now, one of the things that we all too often take for granted is the carryover. When we transition, when we die, the carryover that we take in terms of how we lived our lives and how we then transition in death. Because one thing that can happen when we are experiencing heavier emotions, whether we are talking about the pining of and for a lover, whether we are talking about something that was left undone, whether it is something that we have wronged, some way we have wronged another person, how is it that we reconcile these energies? And how is it that these patterns carry over from one life to another? Well, as we look at that, I really feel that it comes down to emotions. Now, when we talk about emotions, I feel that often it is something that is misinterpreted. Emotions, really energy in motion, is tied to specific occurrences, and those occurrences that it's tied to can carry over both in this life and other, whether we're talking about specific traumatic experiences or we are talking about something that happened that had an impact on another person or being. So as we really look at that, then this snapshot in terms of a sensation and how that sensation then transcends a given vessel. As we talk about this, and we really start to dive into incarnations, cycles of life, and really how then these patterns of the soul can carry over and can create consistency throughout these different incarnation cycles. As we dive into this, we'll talk a little bit more about the whole concept of past life regression, talk about how we can utilize these types of tools and indeed technologies to really support us in moving past these processes, because we often get stuck in a process, right? Whether it's a matter of worthiness or it's a matter of shame or whatever it is, forgiveness, blame, however you put it together. And these processes are tied to these patterns, yet we can only go so far in terms of alleviating this stress and this tension until we dive into the actual principle that is core and key to the very emotions that we are experiencing in everyday life.